Hello, DCAC members. I wanted to share the World's Best Workforce Report that we provide to the school board each year. This will be a summary of the full report. The full report is available in our DCAC materials for you to review. There are many parts to the World's Best Workforce, but ultimately it's a report about improving the opportunities for our students after they graduate from our high schools. We believe that through our strategic focus areas, interwoven with our World's Best Workforce, we will improve our educational experience for our students and families. There are many people that work together every day to make this happen, and I want to thank our staff who continue to work tirelessly in changing conditions throughout this year. I also want to thank our students and families for continuing their engagement during these trying times. We have 5 focus areas identified in our strategic planning, and we interweave those with the 5 areas of the World's Best Workforce to drive the direction of the district and the initiatives that move forward. These areas bring focus to our school improvement plans and goals, as well as our professional development areas. We do this World's Best Workforce report once a year, but report out in monthly monitoring reports to the board and administration the progress that we're making in many areas during the year. This screencast will focus on the 5 areas of the World's Best Workforce report and our improvement efforts district-wide. Before I begin on our summary, I need to acknowledge how the COVID-19 pandemic changed the way we delivered instruction last spring. After coming back from our second trimester last spring, we needed to transition rapidly to a distance learning model. Our educators did their best, and we improved our instruction and delivery throughout the spring thanks to feedback from students, families, and staff. It was a real challenge providing an equitable experience for students with tight budgets and time constraints, but we did it well and reflected this summer on further improvements that we rolled out in the beginning of the 2020 school year with Distance Learning 2.0. Typically, a heavy portion of this report is based on our Minnesota Comprehensive Assessments, or MCAs. However, these tests were canceled last year due to the coronavirus. Thus, that information is not included in this report. This spring, we will follow the Minnesota Department of Education's guidelines for student testing and assessments. We continue to receive feedback from students, families, and staff about our instruction and delivery of materials and continue to improve our services to students and families. In the area of closing achievement gaps, some of the initiatives included from the 2019-2020 school year are: as a district, we focused on our professional learning community practices, including monitoring student progress. Professional learning communities are our teacher teams that meet and collaborate about student data and their response to instruction based on that data. We have a specific racial equity lens when we look at that data. We also provided staff with equity training that was focused on collective knowledge creation or incorporating student voice and community voice in our curriculum and instruction. This year, we're partnering with the Minnesota Humanities Center to continue our work around absent narratives inclusive of Indigenous cultures. In the area of kindergarten readiness, our early childhood and pre-K staff last year were involved in the Pyramid Model Grant Project, which was a focus on best practices to support students' social and emotional development. They also worked on alignment of assessments and curriculum from pre-K to kindergarten. This year, we're working on increasing family engagement, learning new formats to do this in the pandemic, including Seesaw and Zoom, and we look to how we can continue to incorporate this even after the pandemic. We've also been working on the collaboration between pre-K and English language learning teachers to support our English learning students differently through instruction and assessment. In the area of reading well by 3rd grade, last year we continued our work with the press reading interventions and increased those to incorporate more research-based interventions for struggling readers. We also implemented a time called What I Need, or WIN time, at each of our elementary sites and at Fairview Alternative High School as a part of our collaborative team and professional learning community work. This year, we've provided multiple opportunities and experiences for professional learning for our staff through our professional development pathways, which are synchronous and asynchronous sessions that support literacy in distance and blended learning formats. We also began using the Lucy Calkins Units of Study Writing virtual resources to strengthen our writing program, which in turn strengthens our readers. In the area of graduation, we continued last year to ensure smooth transitions between RAS and FAS students and strengthen the partnership between the two schools. We also expanded our college and career readiness pathways by hiring a full-time career navigator, which is funded by the Roseville Area Schools Foundation, the St. Paul Foundation, and the Bigelow Foundation. The next slide will focus on our work for this year. This year, in the area of graduation, we continue to strengthen the partnership between RAS and FAS, ensuring high-quality student transitions, adding student tours, increasing the frequency of our intake meetings for students at FAS, and having an increased administrative presence in those transitions. We've also decreased the elective graduate credits from 22 to 20 for our FAS students due to extenuating student circumstances, while still remaining 7 credits above the state minimum. In the area of college and career readiness, last year we implemented the 2019 Grow Your Own grant, which provided 5 additional educational pathway courses for students who are interested in the field of education, providing them with those college courses at RAS. We also began offering the Northeast Metro Manufacturing Educational Grant, which provides manufacturing internship opportunities for students. And this year, in the area of college and career readiness, we will implement the ACE Mentor Program at Roseville Area High School. This program offers high school students a chance to engage and learn more about careers in architecture, engineering, and construction. We will also continue our partnership with Abbott Laboratories, offering summer internships, and continue to partner with area colleges to create credit and industry-recognized credential opportunities for students in our Career Pathways program. Lastly, we established a partnership with Flexotech, who has donated $10,000 to work with our printing and communications technology pathway. The following slides include more detail on our college and career readiness work that you can review at your own pace. This next slide is a review for most of you being on the DCAC, but just a reminder that our curriculum and program review cycle has 3 high phases, which include program evaluation, program design, and implementation planning and purchase. Within the review, we manage 17 subject areas that we transition into the high phases to review instruction, delivery, materials, and outcomes. As we moved into distance learning last spring, we had to put this work on hold. However, we were able to complete the work of 2 groups, including our K-12 physical education group and our K-12 health, that have made significant progress over the year prior to the pandemic. This year we have planned for 3 possible scenarios for our curriculum and program review work. Those are dependent on the learning model that the district's in, and we have one for distance learning, blended learning, and in-person learning. Currently, we have a pause on much of this work due to being in distance learning scenario. However, regardless of our scenario, we will continue to make sure that some of our groups make progress, especially our K-12 science group, as they have standards work that will need to be implemented beginning in the 2021 school year. In the area of staff development, we had multiple goals over the last school year. However, we had to shift and adapt them due to the move to distance learning last spring. We had to quickly change our support and focus to provide teachers with resources and development about how to do distance learning and instruction in multiple formats. We provided this through synchronous and asynchronous learning opportunities for teachers throughout last spring. Our goals last year included improving the instruction for our students of color, American Indian students, English learners, students receiving special education services, and pre-K learners. Within this wide-ranging goal, we provided our WIN time, our What I Need time, implemented last year, and also our culturally relevant curriculum, professional development, through our collective knowledge creation. Goal 2 was done through our work at sites, including hosting quarterly family events and a significant increase in virtual connections. And Goal 3, we had every site that had a goal in social emotional learning areas that varied by site. Some of them included zones of regulation, social emotional learning lessons, and connections with students. Continuing with our staff development goals, Goal 4, expanding the support for college and career readiness, was explained in the prior slides for career and college readiness as well as graduation. Goal 5 was using AVID strategies. We continue to provide AVID opportunities for students at RAMS, RAS, and FAS, building in writing, inquiry, collaboration, organization, and reading, or Wicker strategies for those students. And Goal 6 was to strengthen writing as a means to increase reading achievement. In this area, we continued to offer our Units of Study writing program, which expanded from elementary to some piloting at the middle level. And Goal 7 focused on improving our professional learning community work, which last year focused on school culture, setting our PLC vision, providing tight and loose expectations for staff, and implementing our What I Need time, and also teams using data analysis to focus on their data discussions. This slide describes two areas of our work, ATPPS and our overall budget expenditures. ATPPS stands for Alternative Teacher Professional Pay System. Last year, because of the pandemic, we were able to forego our 2019-2020 ATPPS annual report. However, we will continue ATPPS with the flexibilities allowed by the Minnesota Department of Education. This program is also more commonly referred to as QComp, that was rolled out some years ago. As you can see, our fund expenditures are listed in the pie graph on this slide. And you can see the largest portion of this, which is 83%, is spent on students, including teaching, transporting, supervising, and counseling for our students. So I want to thank you for watching this screencast. I also want to let you know that the whole report and slides are available in our DCAC agenda folder and are also posted on our Roseville Area Schools website. And I also want to thank those of you who are parents in our district for your continued support of your students during this time of distance learning, as well as staff in our schools who continue to provide on-site child care for our Tier 1 workers. I also want to thank our students for their continued engagement and our educators who continue to find ways to engage them. We will continue to focus on our strategic plan goals and our world's best workforce areas as we move through this school year and beyond. Thanks again.